On May 18th, 2020, Tracy Mondabaugh was stabbed. One of those stabs, ladies and gentlemen, was right around here. And it's that stab that nicked her heart and killed her. Now, I told you yesterday that there would be no big Perry Mason moment in this trial. That we don't have a lot of those in real life. Unlike in the TV show, there aren't typically any big dramatic reveals or unexpected twists. The kind of thing that we as viewers come to expect, and we want that, and we wait for it, and sure enough, in the end, we're rewarded. But the thing is, in here, this isn't a movie. It's not TV. What's happening in here is a real life tragedy. But I'm going to tell you right now, standing right here, before you have heard any evidence in this case, I will stand here and I will tell you that Michelle Bowe is responsible. Michelle Bowe is the one who had the knife on May 18th, and Michelle Bowe is the one that stabbed her. Now, the only thing even remotely Perry Mason-like about that, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that I'm standing here right now, 20 minutes into this trial, and I'm telling you that. But it's important that you know this isn't a whodunit. It's not a whodunit. The police got the right person. But we can't just look at May 18th. We have to go back. We have to go back, in fact, 69 days. 69 days before May 18th. A day when Michelle Bowe came home from work and she realized that her husband of 20 years was gone. 69 days before May 18th, 2020, when Michelle Bowe realized that the home that they shared, the small house they had together at 135 Prairie Street, 69 days before he walked out the door of their home. 69 days before, when Michelle's life fell apart. She wasn't scorned, ladies and gentlemen, but she was devastated. She wasn't seething, but she was heartbroken. Her husband was gone. She was suddenly alone in the midst of chaos. Each of you remember back to March of last year, how scary the world was. The fear, the chaos, the isolation that we all felt in the early days of the pandemic. That's where Michelle was 69 days before May 18th. So that's the backdrop. That's the context, that's the big picture of what happened 69 days before. And now that I've told you what I've told you, it would be fair for you to be sitting there thinking, well, then why am I here? What are we here for? Michelle's lawyer is already standing in front of us, telling us that she did it. So the answer that you'll have to come up with in this case isn't who did it, but it's what she did. It's what happened on May 18th, 2020. What it is. Now, the state says that what she did was first-degree murder. That's the charge that the state has brought. That's the charge that Mr. Bowles stood in front of you just a little bit ago and read out loud. Murder in the first degree. We talked a long time yesterday about how it is the state's burden to prove, if it can, the charge that they've made against Michelle. And it is the state's burden alone. We have nothing to prove to you. It is the state's burden. It is an extraordinarily high burden. It is the highest burden that we have in our system. And in order to meet that extraordinarily high burden, the state is going to have to rule out all logical possibilities of reasonable doubt. And we talked a little bit about that yesterday when we talked about that incident back in the 1980s. Those Tylenol capsules, some of them were poison. And we talked about that. And I may not have talked with each one of you individually about it, but all of you said, no matter how many pills you put in that Tylenol bottle, even one pill is reasonable doubt. Because reasonable doubt isn't about weight, it's about logic. It's not about weight, it's about logic. And what that means is, maybe the state presents $100,000, 100,000 capsules of evidence in this case. But if there's one capsule of reasonable doubt, that's reasonable doubt. It was the state that asked you in jury selection if you thought that people should be held responsible for their actions. Every single one of you said yes. Yes, people should be held responsible for their actions. Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Boat should be held responsible for her actions. And at the end of the evidence, at the end of this trial, we will stand in front of you again and we will ask you to hold her responsible. We will ask you to make her account for what happened on May 18th, 2020. But the state will not have met its burden to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that what happened on May 18th, 2020 was first-degree murder. It was not. The evidence will not support that. But we will stand in front of you and ask that you hold her accountable. But only for what the evidence supports, ladies and gentlemen. And that is not first-degree murder. Instead, it is manslaughter. Thank you.